video game physics. I am Hannah Roberts, and this is Physics 139. So an introduction to game physics. Physics are used in games to make them more realistic. So like when you're running or jumping, even like sliding down a hill, it just makes it seem like something that would actually happen in real life. And then I'll also talk about how some people like meddle with physics, so that how you can change like the gravity, you can change how your character is affected in a game, and basically just change how outside things affect your character. So there's a difference between physics coding or mirroring it and simulating it. I'll go over how it works and what games use it, and then why changing laws of physics can draw people in. So how is physics added to games? Through code. Not a bunch of physics equations are being evaluated all at the same time. Rather, people use software called middleware, and there's a company called Havok that is a middleware provider, and they provide an engine that is already loaded with physics equations or simulations, I should say, where the programmers can add that into their games, and so it will take on all of those things, and you'll be able to run and jump like real life. They have The Legend of Zelda underneath there, where you can ride horses, you can paraglide, you can go in a boat, you can swim, and all of these things act on it while playing the game. So how closely can game imitate life in regards to the laws of physics? So physics in games are simulations. They relate really closely to the laws of physics, but they aren't exact. And like I said before, most programmers utilize a company that provides the physics implementations for them. This makes it simpler, and then there's a wider range of people that can use this for their games. But the basics physics that they usually include a lot of the time would be friction, which includes static and kinetic. So like if you're sliding down a hill, there's friction involved with that. Inertia, the law of inertia. So an object in motion will stay in motion unless it's acted on by an outside force. And there's many games that you can see that in. Like I said, The Legend of Zelda, which I've played way too much, uses a lot of physics in it that I wouldn't have thought of before. And then force, mass, and acceleration are also a big thing that's used. The equation for that obviously is F equals ma, and we've been using that recently in class. And then another law would be action reaction, that for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. So some physics-based games that I chose to include, the Angry Birds game, where basically you shoot the bird up in the air using a slingshot and it will drop down, just like our projectile motion lab. Just a little bit more fun. And then Cut the Rope will change the trajectory of where your candy swings, and it's pretty good in that sense, I think. Human Fall Flat is also a physics-based game. I have not played it personally. And then there's also Goat Simulator. So for Goat Simulator, there are only a little bit of things that actually follow the physics, because you can get boosts, which obviously we don't get in real life. We don't get real boosts that help us jump higher and stuff. And then, of course, the one that I didn't include is The Legend of Zelda, which a great game, made really, really great. And then some of the resources that I used are listed below.